Hey, what's up, everybody? Tones Overthinks It, the show where I think too much to make up for the people who don't think at all. And we're live. Or as an idiot would say, live, live, live. How's it going, everybody? Thanks for showing up for this little bit of a test slash premiere of me trying to do streams. Hey, Mo Army 67, James the Mick, Robster 1001, Barb Isabel, Jerry Just Jerry, Hank's Corner, good to see you. Michelle Hogg, The Hurricane 044, Carl Edwards. Wow, there's a lot of you in here. Can everyone hear me okay? Just to make sure. Yeah, let me know in chat if you can hear me. I just want to make sure I got my sound settings correct this time. Oh, good. Okay. Excellent. Thanks, Michelle. Okay, so yeah, so for those of you who may have seen my video yesterday on Friday with what had to have been the dumbest frauditor ever, I left a lot out of that video, and I had a lot more to say about the guy. So I figured, you know what, let's do that in this stream. Now, for those of you who haven't seen the video, pretty much this guy, it's a classic post office audit, and he failed miserably. Not only violating Poster 7, but also trespassing, refusal to ID, and on top of it all, he had a firearm in his pocket on federal property. So yeah, not the smartest guy ever. Stephen, thank you for saying that, man. I try not to say I'm a successor or replacement for Schrodinger's cat, but it is very flattering for people to say so. I mean, no one can ever replace the guy. I think only all the community collectively could maybe just come close. But yeah, I appreciate the sentiment very much. So pretty much, for those of you who haven't seen the video, I'm just going to really quickly recap part of it, and then we're going to kind of go into the aftermath. So let me go ahead and jump to that. Oh, nope, wrong one. So still learning. There we go. And I'll hide that. There we go. All right. So this is actually a repost of his video from Rogue Nation of all people. So I'm gonna go ahead and play a little bit of just the segments of it, just the highlights. So the guy's claiming to be a journalist. Oh, stupid ads. What's weird is okay, I got to say, this is ironic. This ad is ironic. A conceal and carry, because we're going to get to that in a minute. Okay, so here he is. He's reading Poster 7. Hey, Unclean Hands, welcome. Yeah, this guy totally struggles to read. Oh, video has no sound. Hang on. Is there a reason why it doesn't have sound? Because that's a problem. Yeah, let me pause this. I don't know why there's no sound in the video, because sharing the screen should allow that. Okay. Hold on a second. Let me try that again. Share system audio. Thank you very much for that one, Hank's Corner. So let's go back. All right.
Lobbies.
Now can everyone hear it?
Foyers, corridors, auditoriums, when used for public meetings, except where prohibited by official sign or Social Security Force personnel.
You guys able to hear the audio from the
or
video?
Authorized personnel or a federal court order or rule. Other photographs may be taken
Excellent. Thanks, Hurricane.
only with the permission of the local postmaster or installation head.
So yeah, pretty much he read poster 7 and he pretty much made, it became very clear, like he does not have permission from the installation head or the postmaster because the woman in charge, who's behind the cop here, she's the one who called 911 on him. So she didn't give him permission. She asked him to stop. He refused. So therefore, obviously he's operating without permission. So he's in clear violation and he's literally read the rules that says it, but he just doesn't get it.
So you're doing it just because you think you can do it?
Sir, I can do it by
Hey,
law.
K-Far, how's it going?
Okay.
Federal law.
Let's try
because it's
to.
legal.
Have they asked you to leave?
No, they haven't asked me.
No, I have asked him to
Okay.
stop filming.
you asking to come here?
Oh, I
Okay, so we need to get out of here. They don't want you here.
Now,
Private property.
it's not private property, sir. I own this property.
You own this?
Yes, sir, and so do you.
Yeah, and in my video, I did make it very clear. Like, if you just Google is the post office funded by tax dollars, the answer is unanimously no. It's like they may get some federal funding for support, but the fact of the matter is, like, even if it was paid by tax dollars, that's the thing I got to point out. And I'll be talking about this later in another video about them. But even assuming your tax dollars even went to an organization, the fact of the matter is you're paying someone else to be responsible for something so you don't have to be. So once that money goes there and they're doing the job, that's it. You have no responsibility or obligation. You have no way to, don't have any authority to dictate what they do. You paying them essentially hands them over the authority to do it. So he can't claim ownership of the building, even if he did pay taxes for it. And of course, most of these frauditors are unemployed, so pretty much I doubt that any of them pay taxes anyways. Let me do something really quick. Let me just resume the video.
Okay, we're not doing this. Let's leave. They don't want you here. You got to go.
And if I don't leave, what?
You go to jail.
I go to jail for
Yes.
what?
Trespassing.
Oh, please. Please arrest me for
We're not doing
trespassing.
Let's
Oh, yes,
just
sir, you will be sued.
Yeah, he's confident.
That's a violation of my rights.
Is it which one?
The First Amendment, have you ever
Freedom
heard
of
of it?
speech?
Freedom of the
Trespassing.
press.
Okay, that doesn't cover trespassing. Let's talk
I'm
outside.
not trespassing.
You are.
Why don't we go ahead and step outside?
Let's talk outside.
How
Let's
can
not
I
talk
be
here.
trespassed in
Because
a
it's private
public
property.
area?
It's private
I'm
property.
standing up.
Mr. Gibson, can I ask your ID card, please?
No, sir.
Well,
Okay.
guess what? In the county of St. Louis, you
We're-
are required by law to identify yourself when a police officer asks you to do that.
Yep, there it
Only
is.
if I've been, only
Like
if
failure to
I have
identify.
been,
I would like to file a formal complaint.
Suspected of committing a crime, yes, sir.
That's
I'll help you
Yeah,
finish.
right now
So
we're-
right
I
now
love
you're
it. Like,
suspected
these
of
cops
trespassing. So
These cops know exactly what this guy's all about, and they know the script better than he does. That's what's so hilarious. I'm going to skip ahead to. Actually, no, they're about to arrest him anyways. There we go.
hey, you don't have to twist me. You're fine.
Oh, torture cuff alert! Torture
it's all
cuff
on
alert!
camera. We're good.
Yeah, don't let delete laws know about this.
Because
Exactly, master plan.
Because you're being fine right now. We're gonna add a second set of cuffs, so you're not uncomfortable.
Put this phone. I think you guys have been reasonable with me.
Do you have any weapons on?
No, sir. Oh, yes, I did.
What do you got? What do you got?
I think I have it in my pocket.
It's hard to believe that Mint Mobile can be good at just
What's really funny is I
$15 a
signed up
month.
for
So,
YouTube
as
Premium.
Mint's
You'd
new
think I
owner,
wouldn't get any.
Okay.
This one?
Don't reach. Stop reaching.
Okay, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Here?
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, he's got one. Let me skip.
I'm gonna put this in my.
So like so the cop is he takes the weapon out there and you can see it's a little revolver. It's like the guy had his hand in his pocket the whole freaking time, and that was within reach.
Fucking trigger.
That does not look good for him. Yeah, exactly, Master Plan's like they used two sets of cuffs so his arms weren't pulled back too hard, and guy wasn't really screaming about that. If anything, he was more, I didn't commit a crime. I didn't commit a crime. It's like you committed like 4 crimes, you know, in that one shot. So yeah, so as we can see, like he dismantled the gun. Let me go to when they, oh yeah, so when they put him in the car, it's like,
in with it.
Sure.
like the guy just doesn't
Spread
seem
your
to get it.
So,
Spread your legs,
Yeah,
please.
but I didn't see it.
Thank you.
It should have been on the bill. That's legitimate, brother. That is true. I think it's absolutely true. But, and then I was already in the building.
Have a seat, please.
go ahead and take a seat in the car.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna go get.
All this property.
That's fine. Just put it in the trunk.
The trunk.
Officer Holmes,
Yes.
I don't mean to be disrespectful
Okay,
to
have
you,
a seat.
sir. You're a legitimate person.
Thank you.
I
Please have a
appreciate
seat.
you.
Too late to
And I
apologize
wasn't
now, buddy.
refusing to
Okay.
leave, honest.
And
I wouldn't.
Okay, well, I have a body camera, and I think that's going to tell me otherwise. Please put your
Yes,
seat in there.
And of course, in the body cam footage, we saw like he refused to leave, put his arms out, says, "Yes, arrest me." It's like, he said, "You need to leave." No, it's like, and yet he's saying later, like, "Oh, I didn't refuse to leave." Like, honest, it's like, God, the lack of self-awareness is so much. Really quick, I saw, Mystery Sauce at Theater. I heard about that. So Tom Zebra went to town on you with the false copyright strikes, didn't he? You know, it's like I saw that, and I'm actually going to be, Tom Zebra's actually going to be a subject of my video on Monday. You know, I had to go back and look for one where he's just really stupid, like where he's literally filming the cops and saying, "Oh, I got warrants right now," and everything. It's like, well, what do you think's going to happen if they run your name? So yeah, that I figured, you know, we could use a moment to see him get, yeah, if we can, you know, we could enjoy a moment where he gets completely owned by his own stupidity. But this was basically where I ended the video, so we get to hear.
I'm
him.
going to go get the reporting party's information.
See, now the cop is going to go get the statement. Now, the thing that's funny is the guy didn't post any footage that he filmed while he was in the post office. His video was strictly of the cop's perspective. So what did he not want to show us? Let's hear what they have to say.
We were talking to, do you know what you want?
I'm sorry.
There was someone out here who we were talking to that called the police. Do you know what you want?
I'll do it for you.
Please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, so they're going to talk to the person who called, and I guess we're going to get the full story.
1304.
Sorry, 1304.
Number for trespassing, please.
Yeah, our taxi union. She spit in my face.
Florida number 68686868.
1049.
Hanging out and
Yeah, good question. You know, like I said, violent things like he didn't post any of his information, any of his video of when he was in there. So they're going to give a statement, and I guess we'll just get a bit of a description from the person there. Something to take into account, by the way, you saw all these people in lobby. Like this guy walked into a post office with a pistol, and like there's it's full of people. It's like, how stupid can you get? Yeah. Oh, and by the way, I should also point out, you know, this is Rogue Nation's repost of it. It says here that the charges were dropped and he filed a lawsuit, which I'll be getting to after this. It's a doozy, but he's claiming that the charges were dropped. It's like, I don't see the prosecutor dropping the federal weapons charge that easily, not with this much overwhelming evidence.
That was her, yeah.
So they're going to talk to them, see what they can get the story. Let's get when she gets there.
Call the police.
I went and told my boss to call the police.
Who's the one
who had the problem with me?
Who's the one that asked him to leave?
She asked me to leave and I asked her to leave. I told him to put film.
What's your last name?
Jennifer, S-C-H-I-M-S-A. than my boss, but I told
Yeah,
him.
let's pause that a second. Yeah, Paul, I don't know what the point is either. I mean, filming in a post office, like, I guess it's because they think because it's a federal facility that it's the most easily accessible one. Because a lot of them updated to or upgraded to courthouses and police stations. But I guess they figure the post office is more of a safe space that they're less likely to get arrested. I'm not sure, but it's I don't know. I think it's ridiculous. I mean, I kind of went into this on another channel, but I find the concept of First Amendment auditing to be completely ridiculous. Like it actually doesn't even work. It's like, I mean, first of all, the First Amendment was written specifically so that the government couldn't arrest and charge you with the crime of practicing your own religion, voicing your opinion, publishing, journalism and everything like that. Like that. That's what it's for. It's not designed to protect you from the average person on the street or a private business. They can make up their own rules. They can tell you, well, yeah, we're not going to serve you if you do this. Now, granted, if you don't agree with that, there is a venue in which you can go dispute it, which is court. And that's usually what happens sometimes. People have sued private businesses for discrimination, and have won. So the idea of just going in and trying to argue all that right there on the spot and not in a court of law, that's just asinine. So the truth is, a real way to audit the First Amendment is write or publish books and articles, engage in public debate and discord in a public forum, write to your local officials to state any grievances or suggest for reform, things like that. And if the government doesn't come kick down your door and arrest you for that specific action, then the First Amendment's fine. Audit passed. The fact that these people can post their videos in the first place is proof that the First Amendment exists. That the government's not taking down their recordings. The government's not shutting down their channels. YouTube might do it because it violates their terms of service, but they're being allowed to show this footage. So that's proof enough that the First Amendment works. Yeah, and you're right, Judy Johnson. The 10th Amendment grants the states the rights to have their own laws. Granted, there have been in times in history where some of the laws that the states have done have come into conflict with federal law, and even today there's some. But nothing like what the auditors are saying. It's like, the state can't make laws that trump the Constitution. It's like, yeah, sure, having a driver's license is violating your constitutional rights. Please. Anyways, back on track.
What is your phone number?
I'm going to skip ahead here because Rogue Nation doesn't like to leave out people's personal info.
So don't say bad things about the post office. That's not nice.
Right.
And then he said something else. He said, "Sir, didn't your mother teach you that if you didn't do anything nice to say, you shouldn't say anything at all? It's my right. I can say anything I want." I said, "Sir, if you
I don't know if you can hear
please don't say anything
here.
at all. So you can go ahead and leave what I have to say." So he goes, "Well, just because that, I'm going to start filming."
So you asked him to leave. Okay.
Correct. And then I said, "You can't film in the post office, sir." He said, "I can do anything I want." And he said, "Start filming." I said, "You're not filming me." And I turned the post shut down and I walked away and I got this. We needed to have an irate customer.
Okay.
We needed to answer right away. We needed out of here. He came up, told him to leave. He couldn't film. He said, "Yes, I can." He came up and was filming my coworkers, filming everything. You're not allowed to film in the post office. He's got a gun. You're not allowed to have a gun in.
Wait, he said that?
He said, "You told the officer he had a gun or weapon on him."
Oh, no, yeah.
The
Wait,
officer told him, "If you have a gun, we got to sign that paper.
When-
There's no weapon."
the other officer. So he told the other officer when we were taking the
Yeah, when they're
handcuffs.
taking stuff off.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was about to say, it's like, did she just say that he actually told her he had a weapon? It's like, that's even worse. But no, she's just saying it because she found out that he did when he was getting arrested. But yeah, if you didn't hear anything, she basically said, like, they did the same thing. They told him, no, you can't film. And he just acted like a complete jackass, disrespectful. So it's like, no wonder he didn't put that footage. I would say the Hurricane that it's for redundancy purposes, like, because the audio of the camera may not necessarily pick up everything that she's saying. So to provide clarity, he would probably be writing notes. I mean, I'm not an expert, but if anyone in there is former law enforcement, probably, or current law enforcement, could probably back that up. Yeah, I agree. That's probably why he didn't upload it, because he filmed himself acting like, completely disorderly. So that's probably why.
Yeah. No, I know. He's going to jail. He's going to jail.
Damn straight he's going to jail.
I hear you. I got you. We'll tell him he's not allowed back. He's trespassing the property. Okay.
I'm not just, no, I don't want him in here threatening us, and I'm gonna film you, I can do what I want
Right.
to you. You can't
I got
do
you.
anything to me.
Great. Okay. Thank you.
I think our charges against him.
Yeah, it's
I got
damn
it.
straight. Like,
Yep.
you know, your job should not force you to give up
I
your
understand.
self-respect and you know, it shouldn't deny you common decency.
I understand. Okay.
Good, that's good to hear.
You know, I Ellis, you know, that's what bothers me. It's like these guys know it. They know that if they, I mean, look at broken system, broken trust. I mean, they know if they annoy enough people, they'll just forget about it because they say, you know what, it's not worth it. We need more time to prosecute murderers and drug dealers and, you know, child molesters, things like that. Which, you know, I agree. You know, those are bigger priority, but these guys are just going to keep doing what they're doing. I mean, they're going to be a public nuisance. You know, it's just unfortunate. And these guys treat it like a victory. They just think, oh, I could do whatever I want, and the courts can't do anything about it. It's like it's that arrogance that just drives me insane with these people.
I would not.
Okay, so he's taking notes. Let's. Oh, okay, he's talking to her now. I haven't seen this part of the video.
What's your title here?
He was only up there trying to show me the stuff on the wall, and then I asked him to please stop filming like 3 times.
Right. And you did ask him to leave, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, there we go.
And then he didn't, and then we showed up,
Yes.
right? And then he got handcuffs. That's it. And you heard me ask him to leave,
Yes, I
and then
did.
he said, "You're gonna have to take me to jail."
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. We won't be back.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Yep. So there you have it. That was the installation head or manager. She essentially made it very clear. You know, she did not give permission, and she told him to stop, and he didn't. Yeah, little Dickens too. That yeah, public employees, public servants were not decades ago. I agree. Like public servant is, I admit it. There was a time where that title may have held some dignity to it, but today, like auditors and cop watchers and just jerks in general have just been, you know, like misappropriating that as like almost like a title denouncing or denoting, I don't know, like enslavement or something. It's just ridiculous. But I hate when they keep using that. And the thing about public service is that people need to remember, you know, a long time ago, the position of a public servant was more of a volunteer position. So like people usually had a main job, and then they were basically asked, hey, do you want to volunteer to perform this service for your town? And if more than one person wanted to do it, they'd of course hold elections and stuff. So that's what you usually had. I mean, you had like councilmen or mayors or sheriffs who owned other, you know, their own businesses. They were still making a living doing something else. So the idea of like a public servant being a career, that came later when, you know, politicians suddenly became a full-time job. But back then it's like, no, you were just doing a service to the public, and that's it. Like it was considered an honor to be doing that. Like, you know, like, hey, thanks for taking on this additional burden so the collective population of the town doesn't have to. That sort of thing. It was more dignified, but now, you know, now they just use public servant, which means, oh, you surrender all your rights. You have to do what I say. It's like I hate that mentality. Honestly, I do. It's stupid. So I think, let's see, that's all that.
Could you start the tow sheet for me? On his way. He's on his way.
Yep. Advisor, I called Sergeant Wilson. He's on his way down.
Okay, so let's see what these two talk about. Like I said, I haven't watched this
You're
part of
okay.
the video. I skipped ahead to what's later, because you'll be surprised.
What's up?
So that label is his car. He also requested to see the supervisor. I called Sergeant Wilson. He's on his
As for
way down.
supervisor, drink.
So you gotta wait till Sergeant Wilson arrives. You want to check with Sergeant Wilson or what?
I mean, if he's on his way, he's on his way.
Yep.
I guess we're gonna tow his car.
So, okay.
He's getting his car towed too.
Could you
Nice.
sit on the tow well?
See him?
Could you start the tow sheet for me? Yeah. 1304. Could you
Yeah,
start
I was
Squires
wondering
for
why they
passenger
put him in the
vehicle?
front seat of the car. I guess the back seat isn't built for transporting. Yeah, Mr. Sosik here. I hope you win on the on those. Like, you know, that's total BS for Tom Zebra to do that.
I don't think there's a serial on
So,
this.
you know, I hope you win, and let me know if you do. It's like I will gladly
Thank you.
mirror whatever video.
Is there a
he
serial
struck.
number
You know,
on it?
I would give him the PayPal patty treatment all the way.
Okay.
You might have to look hard.
What are you saying?
Loaded.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Help! Help! I'm being repressed.
I heard somebody with the shit himself.
I know. Wait. Yeah, there's no serial number. I guess this probably just doesn't have one.
All right, so he's processing his firearm. Let's get past that. All right, so
Yes, sir.
Could you maybe give me a break on that, man?
No, sir. Because if we drive the car and we break it somehow, then we get sued.
But I mean, can you give me a break on towing it?
Well, how am I going to do that? It's parked in a no parking zone.
wait, he parked his car in a no parking zone. Oh my God, that is, I had not seen that part. Oh God, that is, okay, we're beyond the level of stupid. he freaking did that. He parked in a no parking zone. Yeah, exactly, Ugly Dance. What an idiot. Oh God, this guy is just batting 1,000.
Where's it say no parking? It's outside of the yellow curb.
Okay. You're in a driveway.
Yes, I am.
Okay, that's a no parking zone.
Shouldn't be posted.
Not
Oh,
really.
they should post that too. It's a yellow line.
Not all roads are posted no parking.
Shouldn't the curb be yellow if it's yellow? Certainly
If it's a fire lane, yes.
yellow in front of it.
Okay.
He parked his car in the fire lane. What an idiot.
I understand.
Okay, so this, I'm going to mute this because I don't want to hear Rogue Nation's stupid voice. So the guy made good on his threat to sue, and he apparently filed a lawsuit. Now, personally, I'd rather have someone like Artie or Law Talk with Mike, you know, or Natalie read this, but because they probably know more than I do. But even I, with no knowledge whatsoever, you know, and I'm being modest on that. I'm not an expert. Even I could, when I read this, even I could tell it's clearly stupid. So let's take a look here. So we're gonna go here. By the way, public info now, so we know his name is Shannon. So I'm not going to judge. Could be a man's name, could be a girl's name. I won't say for sure. But he is, yeah. Now comes plaintiff. What is this, like a story? Now comes plaintiff Shannon Gibson. Now, complaining of defendants, jurisdiction and venue, civil rights action. Yeah. So of course he thinks under your USC 42, 1983. Yeah. First, Fourth, and 14th Amendments. What? Yeah. God, what an idiot. Oh. Let's see. Jurisdiction of the course. Yep, USC 28. Yeah. Okay, so it's just a bunch of stuff here. So jurisdiction and venue. Okay, here we go. Venue is appropriate. Eastern District of Missouri. Just kind of getting to what he claims. Okay, here we go. Factual background. So at 11 a.m., Mr. Gibson went to the. Oh, damn! Ads again. Seriously, can we get these frauditors channels demonetized? All right, so let's see what he has to say. I'm going to wait for him to scroll up a little. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to pause it here just so we don't have to watch any more ads. 11 a.m., February 10th, 2020. Oh, so this was a couple of years ago. Mr. Gibson went to the Afton post office to mail some packages. Funny how they didn't mention that. Arrested by St. Louis County Police officers has to get home after filming the post office interior. Yeah, I think it was a bit more than that. Post office supervisor. So it's confirmed. It is the installation head he did not have permission from. Let's see. Yeah. You're right, Johnny. Like it doesn't stop them from putting ads on their content. And welcome, by the way. Thanks for coming. It's nice to see you here. I caught a little bit of your stream this morning. Congratulations, by the way, again on making it to the film festival. The YouTube documentary Johnny O made is going to the one in Hollywood. I think that was the one you mentioned. But let's see, back to what was said. Post office supervisor called the police 911 call because Mr. Gibson was filming. No, that's not why. Well, I mean, it was partially why, but supervisor explains that she asked Mr. Gibson to stop filming in our lobby. Yeah, we heard that. Post office supervisor states that he showed her federal CFR that regulates rules of conduct. Yeah, poster 7. Yeah, poster 7 stated he did not have permission. So I don't know where he's going with this. It gives express invitation. No, it does not. It says you can come and ask permission, and if they give it to you, fine. But if they don't, the postal supervisor did not want postal supervisor did not want Ms. Gibson to do what he is invited and allowed to on postal property. She called the emergency 911 number for police. Let it be noted when police arrived, the postal supervisor claimed Ms. Gibson was being unreasonable. Well, yeah, was. To do what he is expressly invited. This was definitely not written by a lawyer. Why would they keep saying that over and over? Like this guy's, it sounds like he's desperate. Yeah, exactly. Robster 1001. He just burned himself in his own stupidity, or buried himself in his own stupidity. Absolutely. So we'll just skip ahead. Yeah. I just found out about this. So really quick, if anyone remembers my Glenn Stereo video, the one where he pretty much said the V word a million times, he was harassing an officer, Rocha. I guess apparently he may have been, I guess he was sadly killed in the line of duty. And I guess that happened yesterday. So that sucks. I mean, when I heard that happen, I'm thinking like, well, if Glenn even thinks of gloating about it, like that his channel needs to go down the way Silence Boy did. But I hope that whoever this was, the suspicious activity guy, I hope that wasn't Glenn. I mean, that would really suck. Yeah, you're right. Glenn will never learn. It's like I said, I mentioned it about when I was doing a video about Broken System, Broken Trust. He is the end of the line for frauditors. He's the last form of them when they've lost everything and everyone. No one gives a damn, and they're just begging for money, and all they have left is filming with their little camera and trying to make themselves feel better. It's like being addicted to drugs. Like it's the only thing they can get happy with. So back to this, news purposes. Yeah. So the police start to interrogate Mr. Gibson, who is doing nothing wrong. Yeah, he's doing plenty wrong. Oh, oops. Okay. The defendants lacked probable cause. No, they were called because the guy refused to leave. He's suspected of trespassing. Violated federal law. Yeah. No, they did not do that. Okay, this is... Okay, the defendants, Hasdig Homes body cam, clearly prove their misconduct. Body cam clearly displays the officers do not understand the law they swore an allegiance to uphold. This was definitely not written by a lawyer. This had to have been written by the guy himself. Like the level of delusion in this, just this part, is so, just tells you how stupid this is. Hey, Irish Southern girl, how you doing? So let's see. I keep forgetting I'm watching this through a video and not a PDF. It sucks I couldn't get that one. Yeah, it takes revenge. Absolutely. Prayers to his family. It's like it sucks. I mean, it happens all the time, sadly, and more than it should. But it's weird when it's someone like you've seen on camera, like you recognize that name and realize, oh God, like I've seen this person's face. I've heard their voice. It's like I've seen them doing their job. So it's tragic when that happens. Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure this lawsuit got thrown out. It had to have been thrown out. I would throw it out. Yeah, Officer Holmes explains that the post office is private property and federal in the same breath, which is like displays his ignorance. No, it can be both. It's federal. It's a federal property, but it does have the same rights as a private property. I mean, again, I'm not an expert. I could be wrong on that, but common sense would at least tell us that it can, it can have the same rights as private property. Yeah, exactly, Master. Like just, each act of stupid is compounded by another. Now what's interesting is this is. Yeah, I'm not an expert, I'm willing to admit that. I am not a lawyer. I am not a law student. I'm nothing. My entire perspective of this, and this is actually in a sense to level the playing field with these idiots, is that I'm looking at this entirely from a layman's perspective. Like I make my determination based on common sense. I mean, I don't need something written down in the law books to tell me that I shouldn't go to a post office and harass people. I mean, that's kind of something that you should already know not to do. I mean, there are two kinds of people in this world: people who embrace the letter of the law and people who embrace the spirit of the law. Frauditors, they embrace the letter. To them, it's just words on paper. And I feel like that actually makes it meaningless, because they just say, oh, well, it just says I can. It's like, no, actually read it, comprehend it, understand the application of it. That's what it's for. That's the spirit of the law. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Pat, you could be trespassed from any property. If the people in charge of the property don't want you there and you refuse, that's trespassing. They can trespass you. You could be trespassed from public property if the people who administrate that property don't want you there. That's the point. But let's see what else here. The defendants, Hasdick Holmes, did not have probable cause to arrest Mr. Gibson for refusing to show his identification because the only stop and identify law applies to Kansas City. Okay, I'm sorry. Stop and identify laws, isn't that statewide? I mean, I'm in California. I believe that's not a stop and identify state. Again, I could be wrong on that. But yeah, it's like it's just the level of ignorance and delusion in this document is just. I mean, this is almost Frauditor, formerly known as legalized drugs, level crazy when he wrote that. The officer's mistake of law was not objectively reasonable. Yeah, the defendants did not have probable cause to arrest Mr. Gibson for trespassing because he was not asked to leave until after the officers arrived. And Mr. Gibson never refused to leave. Camera doesn't lie. He did refuse to leave multiple times. Warrantless arrest is unreasonable. Blah, blah. So now he's just citing things that are not in context. He probably copied and pasted, which I could kind of tell by the difference in size or font. Let's see. Under Missouri law, person commits the offense, first-degree trespass. Yeah, so of course the guy cites a bunch of case law. Like I said, I think, yeah, not leaving is refusal. It's like that. That's all it takes. Yeah. Mr. Gibson, like he's an older guy. Let's see. Defies the law to order. Never. Okay, this is interesting because according to this, Mr. Gibson was never asked to leave by an agent or representative or possessor. What happened instead? Officer Holmes asked for Gibson to be asked to leave. He said, "No, they haven't asked him to leave." Well, they're not going to take your word for it. And asked to stop filming. Now, okay, so they asked the supervisor if she said then she wanted him to leave. But when he did the interview, the other clerk told him to leave. So a representative of the post office asked him to leave before the cops arrived. So this is definitely just complete nonsense. Yeah, the desk clerk. Yeah, he began taking footage of the desk clerk, and the desk clerk had told him not to film. And the manager called the police. The installation head. It's so blatantly obvious that everything we know, like this is direct contradiction of everything we've already saw. So like, how much more of this? Oh god, there's a lot of it. You know what? It's like I said, maybe Artie or someone can do a more in-depth. Yeah, you know what? I'm convinced Irish Summer Girl that he wrote this. It sounds like his language. I mean, you saw the captions that I took from his video that he put on there. Like he's literally saying, "I haven't committed a crime," as they're pointing out to him that it's a federal offense to bring a firearm into the post office. It's like he's watching this after the fact. He waited for the body cam footage to be released to him, and yet this is the conclusion he drew. So it's all nonsense. This is everything. It's like all this stuff. Oh, whatever the hell that is. Oh, it's an ad. What they're doing? Buffy the Vampire Slayer or something again? I don't know. Anyways, I'm ditching that. We actually have a better video. So this is a video from the same guy. This took place this year back in March. So I don't know what's happened since then. I don't know if he's been delaying the court proceedings or what, but the fact that he's still around when this is going on, that's crazy. So we're going to start watching this video. This one's a long one, so I'll maybe try to skip ahead in certain parts. Sorry, my voice is getting a little bad these days. And yep, there it is. Missouri is a stop and ID state, so the stop and ID laws do apply everywhere in that state. So let's see what he gets up to in this courthouse. And he says gun charge was dismissed, which I find that suspect. He didn't show anything.
Yeah. I certainly can.
No, you can't.
Well, you see, I am.
You know what? Don't be smart, sir.
I'm not trying to
I was gonna say, yeah, I don't think he can be smart. It's not possible.
be smart.
What do you want here, sir?
I'm taking pictures of my building.
What do you?
Why are you in my
want?
face? Back up off of me, man.
Okay.
This is from March. This was
I'm
released
taking
March
pictures
2020.
of my building.
What do you want here?
Why don't you think I
You cannot take a
can?
picture in here, sir. It's not a debate. You
All right.
cannot take a picture in here.
Who owns the
You
building?
cannot take a picture in here, sir.
What do you
Are you
want?
gonna let me
take a
talk
picture
or
in here.
not?
No, you cannot take a picture in here.
What do you
That's
want
it. It's
here?
not a discussion.
I
No,
can't
don't
take a
my
picture? Oh,
You'll
yeah.
go to jail.
What do you want?
Then
What do you want?
go get the man to arrest me then.
What do you want here, sir?
I'm taking pictures of my building that I paid for.
You cannot take
Okay.
pictures.
What else do you want here besides that?
I've been invited to do so
By who, sir?
by the federal government.
Okay.
I have every right to film
I'm sorry, was that a wedding band? Like, who the heck would be willing to spend their life with this person? Good God.
my building.
Is there
Is there a
anything-
supervisor here that knows
Is there
what they're talking
anything
about?
you need
Yes,
in the
sir.
building?
One's coming down. Let me explain something
Okay.
to you.
Is there
You
anything
can take pictures outside the building, but inside the courthouse, unless the court gives you permission, you cannot take pictures
Sir,
inside
you're
the
sadly
building.
mistaken.
Oh, bull, please. I mean, the guy just flat out said it. It's like, you can take pictures of the outside, but the court order says you can't take a picture of the inside. And he says, no, you're mistaken. It's like, he just says it. He just hand waves it away as if thinking somehow that's going to change it. I love how he cuts out audio too. It's like, what was being said here that he doesn't want us to hear? It's like, talk about transparency. And yeah, Tessa, you're right. Other people pay for it too. Actually, they get to that a little bit later because I do watch parts of this.
My documentation
For what?
to be able to film here. This
No,
is
I
from
just want to know what
Homeland
did you
Security.
need here?
I just told you what I need. I
Well,
need to take
leave
pictures.
then. No, don't take my picture. Do not take a picture in here, sir. Do not take.
I
You
would love to have that.
are you blocking my right to
You
film
cannot-
here, sir?
You cannot take a picture in here. It's not a debate, sir. You cannot.
Go ahead, put your hands on me. See if I don't defend myself.
Okay, considering the fact this guy walked into a post office with a gun, I'm now more worried about what he just said. Watch me defend myself. Like, I really hope he's not packing in this. I mean, I've watched all the way to the end. It just, spoiler alert, it ends with a walk of shame on his part. But, you know, still, it's like, to hear him say that, knowing what he did earlier, that had me worried when I first heard it. But yeah, Irish Devil Girl, God, if there was a way to literally target a camera and fry it, that would be, I would pay money for that and just go troll these frauditors. You know, I asked that question too. They are way too patient with him, because it's like they tell him it's not a debate. Like, just you can't do it, and he keeps saying, "Yes, I can," and "I am." It's like, I mean, the arrogance of this guy. It's just
Don't take pictures there, right? Wait till this.
I don't have to wait for. I have authorization. I said I've done it from the federal government. This is from Homeland Security. If you want to learn something, you can read it.
You need to learn something, sir. You're in a federal courthouse. You can't do that.
Who do you think owns the federal? The people do. The feds don't own anything. You and I own this. You own this. You
the
own
voice
this.
crack is
You own
hilarious.
this.
He's getting all
We're-
whiny.
I think you guys are going to get an education today. I can film in my building. I
It's
absolutely
not
can.
your building.
Then
numbnuts.
tackle me. Why not? Stop me. I'm breaking.
Why not? God. Oh, jeez. That voice crack. Just, like, I mean, the guy's acting so childish.
The law. Where's the law? If you had a law, then you could possibly have your flapping lips going. Otherwise, you can't.
Really?
There is no law, sir. There's no law that says I can't film in here. I wouldn't come in here and break the law. I'm a law-abiding citizen.
Yeah,
Have you guys, none of you have heard this before. This is amazing.
Yeah, of course it's amazing they haven't heard it before, because what you're saying doesn't actually exist.
You cannot
What's
enter
that?
this building without a mask on either. You
Well-
have to leave, sir, if you don't have a
Put
mask
that-
on.
I
Well,
hope
that's
he
cool.
wasn't.
That is also a
You have to
policy.
leave without a mask.
Where's
sir.
the
You
law?
have to
I
leave.
will obey the
You have to
law.
leave. It's a court order from the
Show me the court order.
Sir, you have to leave without
Show
a
me the
mask
court
on.
order.
Sir, you don't
No,
have
that's a
mask.
piece
Go.
of paper. There's no law behind it. I read that.
Oh, geez. Okay, so talk about moving the goalposts. He just said, "Show me the court order. Show me the court order." And then they show him. It's like, well, that's just a piece of paper. It's like, yeah, moving the goalpost. Yeah, you know, I would. I mean, the fact that this guy hasn't been tased or thrown out is beyond me. And we're just getting started. We're only 3 minutes into a 30-minute video. It's like, I mean, I'm going to skip through parts of it because there are parts that are just, you know, silence or dead air. But
There's no law.
You ain't got to go home, but you got to go. Let's go.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't. I don't have to have a mask, and I can film.
oh, he's one of those
Now, if
people
there's a
too.
law, I would obey the law. But if there's no law, you can't show me.
Which is assigned by the judge. The chief judge says. you
That's
have to
not
have
a
mask.
law. A judge doesn't write a law. Legislators write laws,
Could you
sir.
write that down for me? I really like to keep that.
Yeah.
Write that down, because I could educate myself.
Yeah, these guys are having none of it, but they're not going the extra mile to
Go
throw
ahead.
him out.
I've recorded it. You can see it on my channel. Breaking news now.
Yeah, that's his name, by the way. Breaking News Now. But good luck finding it,
Remember,
because Breaking
I've been
News Now is
arrested
so
3 times
common
for doing
in
this.
so many video titles.
I think I know what I'm doing. I wouldn't be here wanting to get arrested, would I?
Wait a
That'd be
minute, what did you
pretty
just say?
stupid. I've been arrested 3 times for doing
Oh, you
this.
should got that.
I think I know what I'm doing.
No, I don't think you do. If you've been, if he's been arrested 3 times already doing this, you think he would have learned by now that it doesn't work. You know what, Robert? I would not be surprised. Half the time I wonder if these people do actually suffer from a legit mental problem. And if they do, you know, that's fine. You know, that it's unfortunate. But, you know, and maybe if they get the help they need, they'll see things a different way. But I don't know. Sometimes the way these people act, they are, you know, they you know, the way they act is just so vindictive. It's just, I don't know. Like I question, like, I think they do know what they're doing. They just want to cause trouble. I don't know what it is. Is it like a resistance to authority that gives them a sense of self-importance or self-worth? I don't know. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of them have mental issues. Oh yeah, definitely Dunning-Kruger effect. I mean, this guy is way overconfident that he's right when clearly he isn't. And yeah, I've got a couple of things to pull up further into the video that definitely shows us that he's confident, but he's wrong. Like, he is 100% wrong in this video. I could say that. Even if I'm not an expert, I could tell you he's 100% wrong.
Wouldn't be here wanting to get arrested, would I? That'd be pretty stupid. No, I'm not breaking the law, sir.
Yeah, you are.
You need to leave without a mask on, sir.
No, I don't. Not unless you show me the law.
Sir,
Right
sir,
here's
sir,
the law.
sir, sir.
Don't impede my movement, sir. That's
Don't touch
against
me.
the law.
Don't touch me.
Show me the law. It's on the
I'm not
paper.
going to show you anything. I'm telling you.
Okay, then you can't show me the law. You can't enforce anything.
No,
Okay,
that's not
good.
how it works.
Good. They can show me the law. Right here. Boy, look at this lobby, man. This thing is incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. He is around the moon of deficiency. Like, he's way up there.
Okay. Okay.
Sir.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, good. What are we doing today?
I'm just filming my lobby.
Okay, well, you can take pictures outside the courthouse, but you're not allowed to do that inside the courthouse.
Sorry, sir, you're mistaken.
No, I'm not mistaken.
Oh, jeez.
I don't need a mask neither unless you have a law to enforce. Marshals cannot enforce something without a law. Yes. Court order is not a law.
So you're inside the courthouse.
Yes.
Courthouse has rules.
Yes.
You have to follow.
No, I don't, unless they're a law.
No, that's not true.
Well, where's the law? I see that. I read the paper. I'm not here to start any trouble, fellas, okay?
Oh, yeah, sure.
And I'm not here to get arrested, okay?
So here's the deal. If you go into a building, the building is allowed to establish rules and code of conduct.
I get that.
They're not laws. If you don't follow the code of conduct and the rules, you have to leave the building.
Who owns this building?
This is a building owned by the United States courts.
And who owns the United States courts?
This is a building that is open to the public. It is not a
You
public
didn't answer.
building.
Yeah, it is.
You have to follow the code.
Here you go.
Rules of
Homeland
conduct.
Security, 6 pages,
have to-
says I can do what I can do.
No.
Gives me the
Homeland
right
Security
expressed.
doesn't own this building either.
Oh, my God.
The
I
United
get-
States courts.
What do I
own
have to
the
do?
building.
Shove it down your throat?
The judges
Wow.
establish the rules for the courthouse. We would like for you to follow them or leave. That's what we're asking you
Here's
to do.
my documentation
Sir,
that gives me the right to do what I'm
that
doing.
documentation has nothing to do with this building.
This is a federal building. This is
a
from
building
Homeland
owned by the
Security.
United States.
Get an officer here then.
We are
Get
the
a-
officers.
Are
here.
you Homeland Security?
No.
Okay.
Homeland Security doesn't own this building.
Oh, my
Don't,
God.
don't they regulate this building?
No, they do not.
Who's the officers that enforce the laws
do.
here? So then show me the law.
There isn't a law inside
If you
the
don't
building,
have a law, sir, how do you have
No.
something to enforce? Does that make sense?
Voice crack. Oh, my God. Yeah, exactly. He could do what he wants to do. It's he just thinks he could do whatever he wants, and he's just like he's so oblivious to reality. It's like they're telling him, "No, you can't do this," and he says, "Yes, I can." It's like, God. Yeah, I agree. The camera work is awful. This is one of those times I'd be putting up that potato saying, "Caution, camera operated by idiot."
You're confused.
Yeah, he just said yeah.
You're confused.
No, he agrees with me. I saw his body
In
language.
the code of conduct within the
Use
building.
body language, not words.
You have to follow or you have to leave.
I
That's it.
get policy,
I'm
but
done.
I obey
Sir,
laws. I
sir,
don't have to obey policy.
Sir.
Well, then get the court order and I'll be glad to leave. Why don't you get that and show it to me? I'm not here to cause any trouble. If I have to leave, I'll leave. I'm not here to break
Yeah,
the law.
exactly. That could be very well where we're headed at this rate.
My
It's not
intent,
pretty,
I
but-
just told you, I'm here to film my building. I paid for this building. I get to film it. Does that make
Do you
sense?
have an idea on you?
Why would I need to give you an idea? I haven't broken the law.
Well, I have the right to ask.
God.
You can ask me for you can ask me if I have a hot air balloon, but I don't have to give it to you. Sir, do you understand that I know what I'm doing?
You have no idea.
I
No,
do
he
not
is-
have
he
to
does
give
not
you
know what
my
he's
ID. I have not committed a crime. Where does a person have to?
Commit a crime.
You certainly do in the state of Maryland. Is the only place
You have the right to ask you for an
you
idea.
can ask me for anything. Do you have a motorcycle? Ask me that. I'll tell you yes. I have several of them.
Exactly, Patty. It's like, oh yeah, you said, oh, I read that guy's body language. That meant yes, but like, he can't read the rest of the room telling him no. It's like, what an idiot. Yeah, exactly. It's like, I really wish this would end in a P. Barnes, appearance, but sadly, no. Oh wow. First of all, I got to stop and say 224 people watching. Thank you guys so much for turning out for this. I was trying again to test Streamyard, and I'm glad everyone's here watching, and it means a lot. I appreciate it. Great deal. So let's get back to watching the idiot.
You can ask whatever you want to, but I have no obligation to give you my ID, and you know it.
So you don't want to provide an ID?
I have no obligation to give you my ID. State of Missouri, except in Kansas City, you have to give ID if a police officer asked you for it, but not anywhere else in the state of Missouri. I know exactly what I'm doing,
Please.
sir.
No, if it's a stop and identify state,
I've
it's
been put in
everywhere in
jail
Missouri,
in
you
this
dummy.
courthouse for doing what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. You can ask me for my ID, but I don't have to give it to you unless you know that I've committed a crime. Now, do you know that I've committed a crime? You suspect me of committing a crime.
I'm not suspecting you of committing a crime.
Then you don't get my ID, sir, and you know that. Or if you don't know it, you need to get educated.
No, I don't think those are Crocs.
What you're doing today, you cannot do.
Sir,
That would be perfect.
I've had a federal indictment for doing what I'm doing here. I've been locked up in here, okay? I know exactly what I'm doing.
And yet you have not learned anything. Thanks, Michelle Grant. Thank you very much on that. Yeah, Yolanda, I agree. It's like I don't know what it is. They are so like they are being so nice to the guy. It's ridiculous. It's like at this point I would have just thrown him out. 90s nostalgic nerd. Sorry, let me say that again. 90s nostalgic nerd. $5. If he owns the building, why doesn't he change the rules to his own preference? Absolutely absurd logic. Yeah, thank you for the $5. Yeah, absolutely. It's like, he doesn't own the building. I mean, somebody said this over in I'm gonna probably butcher his name, Hezukai, his name, or his channel. It's called public property, not public's property. So it doesn't belong to the public. Like, it's accessible to the public. You guys paid to have them establish a property that you are allowed to go into. Like that's it. Like you pay them to administrate it and make the rules. So this guy, he just doesn't get it.
I have been locked up for doing a lawfully protected act because
then it wasn't lawful.
A police officer was ignorant like you, demanded my ID, and I refused it, and he arrested me. That was a false arrest.
You still think
and
so?
And if you want to be privy to that lawsuit, go ahead and slap cuffs on me. Before you sign the dotted line, go ask your supervisor if you know what you're talking about, because you don't. You have no idea what you're talking about.
Pot
I'm
calling
not
the
going to
kettle,
provide you with anything. I have no obligation to do that. What's your name of that?
Why are you asking me that?
Because you're my public servant.
36 District Court for $2. Tones, thanks for keeping these cretins funny. yeah, they make it easy to laugh at them. Thank you again for the $2. And I believe he just pulled the public servant card again.
And that's your policy to give it to me when I ask. Because you're my public. What's your name of that?
Why are you asking me that?
Because you're my public servant, and that's your policy to give it to me when I ask. Okay. I know who you are.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have to have a mask.
He's a special kind of idiot.
Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying? How about my friend Johnny here? Does he have to have a mask? How about this man? Does he?
Exigent circumstances why you don't have his on.
Okay.
He came down here because you were causing a disturbance.
I was not causing a disturbance.
That's the difference.
My right to film in public areas, which you guys won't bother to look at the order from Homeland Security.
I'm sorry, didn't he just say that a court order was meaningless? Can't have it both ways, pal.
The order I have here is 6 pages, but if you only read one, you'll get an education. It's
Oh, God. Okay, that sums it up right there. It's 6 pages, but I only read one. It's like, oh.
It says to leave photographers alone in all federal buildings. That means the entire United States. Inside. Yes, sir, it does. I'm telling you, I have the order.
We're getting the order.
Okay, good.
You know what? I'm going to reveal this. He says, oh, I have the order. I have the order. Well, guess what? I have the order. It took me a long time to find it, but I found the document that he was waving around. Like I had to pause, look at, compare the redactions, compare the information. So let's actually take a look at that really quick because he said, oh, just read one. So first things first, he claims it says leave photographers alone. It doesn't say that at all. It says right here, that photography for news, advertising, commercial purposes, blah, 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 field addressing exterior federal facilities. So the purpose of the bulletin is to remind FPS personnel and PSOs that public has a right to photograph the exterior of federal buildings or federal facilities from public forums. So this is simply to allow people to know that they are allowed to film, the exterior. Now let's see, to address this increase of photography and videotaping by the public, this operational readiness order reiterates the 2010 guidelines, provides clarification to the public's right to photograph publicly accessible federal facility buildings, entrances, lobbies, foyers, corridors, and auditoriums, and directs FPS law enforcement personnel and PSOs to maintain security without adversely impacting the public's right relating to photography and videotaping. That's probably the only part he read. So, and he says, oh yeah, if you just read the first page, you get an education. Well, let's take a look at the pages he didn't read. So let's see, on the second page, there's parts that are redacted. I'm not sure why. He mentions that as well. Let's see. It is important to understand that it does not prohibit photography by individuals of the exterior. Yeah, so he could do that. He could film the exterior. That's not a problem. And that's what they've been telling him. Policy concerning photographs for news advertising, except where security regulations, rules, or orders directive apply, or a federal court order or rule prohibits it. Persons entering in or federal property may take photographs of space occupied by tenant agency for non-commercial purposes with the permissions of the occupying agency concerned. It's like it says it right here that he can't do it. Space occupied by commercial purposes again, and building entrances, lobbies for news purposes. Okay, here it is right here. Regulation. Except where security regulations, rules, or orders, directives apply or federal court order. Again, it says right here that he can't do it if they say he can't. Like the idiot is holding this document in his hand, and he didn't read past the first page because on the second page it immediately tells him, no, you can't. Talk about cherry picking. I mean, there's more in here, but it's like that's all you need to see. Just that part right there immediately debunks his argument. Yeah, Jared, to be fair, before he reads the first page, get through, there's only 13 letters of the alphabet. Yeah, like the guy struggled to read poster 7 out loud. I doubt he read past the first page. There's just no way. So there you have it, everybody. Like that, the document in his hand even says that he's not allowed to film.
Here's the order from Homeland Security. Leave photographers alone. I have every right to film
Doesn't say that.
in public areas of any federal building and all federal. I certainly do, sir. I wouldn't be here breaking the law.
If you don't follow the rules, you can be asked to leave.
Yep.
There's no rule that can supersede this one in terms of filming.
You can't just go on someplace and cause a disruption.
I wasn't causing a disruption. I was standing here filming and you guys surrounded me.
You can't film in here.
I certainly can, or I wouldn't be here.
Sir, can I see what you're
Sure,
talking about?
absolutely. I'm not making this stuff up, sir.
Yeah,
And
you
I'm
are.
not here to cause trouble. I think that you're not informed. That's all. That's all.
You think
So you're
that,
not
but
here to
I know
cause
you're
trouble, what's your purpose here then?
To film my
You said
building.
you've
I've
been
already
here before, right?
Not your building.
I have
Did
been
you film
here.
it before?
I have not filmed it before. But I know a lot about this building.
Yeah, I got to pause. Yeah, Mr. Stops, you're right. These idiots don't realize they're going to cause more damage to the First Amendment than they think that they're defending it. I mean, they keep saying, "Oh, the cops don't enforce feelings; they enforce laws." Eventually, that is going to be an issue. They're going to start and realize, okay, like the First Amendment does not grant all speech free. It'll say like, "Oh no, you cannot conduct yourself in a manner that impedes upon another person's, life, liberty, or pursuit of happiness," or something like that. It kind of makes sense. They may start outlawing hate speech, or maybe outlawing information that is factually incorrect. But the fact of the matter is, it's going to happen. Legislation is going to get passed that starts to put limitations. And quite frankly, it's because these idiots are showing, society that we can't be trusted with that freedom. It just says like, oh, people are just going to keep abusing it. And if you abuse it, you ruin it for everyone. This is the argument I make regarding, less, less strict gun laws. It's like responsible gun owners, they follow the rules, and I stand with their right to do that. But when you got people who are blatantly violating it or taking advantage of it, they're going to ruin it for everybody. It's like there's people who follow the rules. They do their due diligence. They make sure, and all of a sudden here comes some jackasses who cause such a stir that the public then says, well, maybe we should repeal these. And then when they do, suddenly it gets taken away. And ruin the party for everybody. Yeah, exactly. For a group of people who say they're all about educating, they don't learn a thing. They're in the minority, the strict minority. Like they are going against what the rest of general society accepts and believes and knows. So it's just so ridiculous. And you're right. Yeah, Nate from Izzy, you're right. It's a slippery slope. It's like, where do you draw the line? And that's the issue that's always plagued us. It's like, it'd be nice to be able to find a place we can all agree upon to draw the line, but that's never going to happen. It's a gray area. So the moment they decide for themselves, like, oh, we're going to restrict this, this, and this, that just opens up a can of worms. It's just, like these guys don't realize that they're screwing the rest of us in doing it. I'm sorry, man. It was a last minute test thing. I didn't expect it to explode this much, but I appreciate you being here, man. So let's get back to this guy being a moron.
It's $30,000 to clean the windows on this building.
Pretty expensive.
Why would I know that?
Because it sounds like you've made this a project. That's why you would know that.
Yeah, that's the worst part about this.
Which speaks volumes in itself.
I have a point to prove here today. I have the right to film my building. That's all. That's what my point.
Yeah, let me bring that up here. Yeah, Tessa. Exactly. It's like if they try to crack down on it, it's gonna hurt the wrong people. Like you were arguing against that stuff, and yet they still do it. I mean, YouTube is stingy on monetizing videos that are critical of these guys when they do something stupid. And I've said in the past, if they had to demonetize both them and us simultaneously for the same content, first of all, there'll be fewer of them. They'll be gone because they know they can't make money off of this. The rest of us who stay, will stay because we genuinely do want to create awareness and debunk these guys. So if that means we can't make money doing it, that's fine. I can always talk about other stuff if I wanted to. I mean, this isn't my full-time job. I do this for a hobby. So if I can't, make ad revenue pointing and laughing at these doofuses, I don't care. If I want to make money, I'll do commentary on other topics. That's not hard. But these guys, it's all they've got. This is all they've got, and the moment you take it away, they'll be gone. exactly. Yeah, Mr. Salves, that happens too. It's like you get a strike for correcting, people who are, who are giving YouTube information. Like it's misinformation. It's just ridiculous. But to be fair, YouTube has mostly an automated system. I mean, fun fact, they just rolled out the self-rating system. And I did that for the first video I did this guy in the post office. And I was 100% honest. I said, yeah, there is police action involved, but it's non-violent. Oh, there is a firearm present, but it's not bad. And everything says, oh, it's still eligible for ads. I send it to them. They kick it back and say, a manual review has determined that you can't have ads. And I said, why? It's like, because the police are violent. There is, guns are being shot. It's like, no. How does a manual review find that? So I appealed it. Like I talked to an automated chat bot and I got them to look at it again, and they immediately overturned it within an hour. It's like, it tells you that there isn't someone manually checking it. They say there is, but who knows how many slip through when it's just an automated system. It's just silly. Yeah, exactly. It's like, it basically rated it, Patty, on the same level as a firearm was discharged. No, it wasn't. And the fact that the cops, using, like the footage showed the cops putting the cuffs on him in the best way possible. He wasn't resisting too hard. And they didn't have to use excessive force. And yet the thing says, oh, they were using force. It's like is an auditor running this manual review process? Is Chile doing it? God, that would be a horrible thought. Yeah. But there you go. Baba Babinski. Stunting is illegal. It's like, you imagine if those laws came here, where it would be illegal to cuss out and flip off a police officer. It's like, that would be, I mean, first of all, it would make many of these guys get their comeuppance pretty quick, but at the same time, it starts down the path of, are you allowed to redress your government and your law enforcement? See, the odd part is I actually don't disagree with the right to do that. I think you should be well within your rights to express if you have a problem with something and want to push for reform. That's not a problem. But it's the way these guys go about it. They're abusing that right. And it's going to get taken away if these guys keep it up.
We have one to prove, and we have a job to do. So.
Well, but your job is, you may have a job to do, but you may not know what your job is.
Sir,
at least they have a job.
I can there's a federal regulation that authorized me to do this. It's a CFR. Do you know what a CFR is?
Oh, jeez.
That's a federal regulation that expressly allows me to do this in any federal building.
Yeah, his channel got taken down again.
In the lobbies, corridors, and entranceways.
You've done your filming. Is there anything else you need?
No. I'm not going to be run out of here, though. Now, when I have the right to be here.
At 6 o'clock.
Oh, well, I'll probably leave then. But I would like to leave after you guys leave.
We're here till later.
But I mean, after you guys stop surrounding me. Because I mean, I'm not being run out of my building.
We're in a public building.
Wait for it.
Yeah, you're right. That's true.
Okay, so there you go.
That's true.
So we can just stay here.
Yeah, you can. You can hold my hand.
Good answer.
You can.
Tessa, that is absolutely correct. As Schrodinger's cat had said, the best way to respond to free speech is more free speech. Nonsense should be debunked, not banned. Banning only makes them think they're martyrs. Yeah, it's like, more, that's why I want to see more footage of cops, like in the previous video, actually tell them, no, you're wrong. This is what's right. It's like, if that means that maybe police do need to be educated a bit more on this sort of thing, that's fine. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see them, know what's going on. Like if there was just a way for them to quickly reference and determine whether what these guys are saying is true or false right there on the scene, that'd be great. I'm not saying that they could just pull out their phones and Google it, but it's like, if there was just a way to do it. If you had someone observing from another location, like through watching the body cam live, and hears this and say, "Let me check that," and then just tell them on the radio, "No, that ain't right. You can arrest them." It's like, I mean, that would be great. That would be the future, I'll tell you.
See, this is for matters of public interest.
Yeah, exactly. See, I want more cops like that.
Looks like I got a couple boys' attention here, don't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're right, Yolanda.
I brought my documentation because I didn't want to get arrested. I've already been arrested 3 times. I don't like getting arrested, especially for doing a lawfully protected act.
Yeah, that's your opinion.
I was falsely arrested. Now, if you guys told me you were going to arrest me, I'd be out the door.
Yeah, under threat of arrest.
So if you want to threaten to arrest me, I'll go out the door.
Now I got to ask, why? These guys keep saying, "Oh, under threat of arrest, I'll leave." It's like, you know what? Fine. Why don't we just let them say that? Just say like, fine then. If you don't leave, you'll be arrested. It says, well, under threat of arrest, I'll leave. Okay, good for you. Bye. It's like that's how it should be. It's like, I mean, who cares if he says, "Oh, they threatened to arrest me"? It's like, well, no, arrest would be the consequence of you not leaving. It's like, I mean, the fact that they say that they're threatening to arrest you, that means, okay, they have discretion to choose not to. And they're saying, well, I will choose to arrest you if you don't leave. It's like it does not call into question the justification or legitimacy of the arrest. It simply says that you were told to leave or you'd be arrested. So if they say, "Oh, I will leave under threat of arrest," then fine, threaten to arrest them. Just do it. I don't think the public's going to care. I wouldn't care. I mean, let me know in the chat. Would you care that he only left because they told him if he didn't, he'd be arrested?
I'll be out of your face in a second. Give me an order to leave or you're going to arrest me? I'm out of here, man.
Exactly. Can't arrest anybody who doesn't consent. Yeah.
Okay.
The fact that they say I do not consent
Well, I think they're going to educate everyone. They probably already know about it, and they just didn't tell you guys about it. That's all. Yeah, I understand that. That's totally legitimate.
Yeah, it would make it shorter. I'll skip it. Skip a little bit. It's dead air.
And since you don't like works for the government,
There we go.
you can film anyone that works for the government. Now, you may not like it, and since you don't like it, I'm not going to film you anymore, sir, okay? I'm going to respect you.
Oh, how nice
I'm
of
not
him.
here to cause any trouble with anybody.
You already did.
That's redacted. The Homeland Security did that. I don't know why, but it's totally legitimate. This actually happened because someone was arrested for filming in a courthouse.
Yeah, I find that
and this
sus.
happened in 2010. So then they sent out a memo to all police: leave photographers alone in any federal building. Then that one came out in 2018. But the first one came out in 2010. This one came out in 2018. You can see the date on it. And you can also look it up. Oh, sure, sir. I won't record you. I can, but I won't because you asked me not to. Sir, you can't detain me unless you for what? For a crime. For what crime?
The video and
That's not a crime, sir. You'd have to have a crime. Sir, okay, you'll be opening
Exactly.
yourself up to be a 1983 lawsuit. Okay. I got that off the internet. Where you guys can get it. It's from Homeland Security. It's from their website. Sorry? Well, that's not true. That's for the public. Well, it may say that, but it's for the public.
You know, I'm actually going to agree with him on only that one point, because the document I was able to get very easily from DHS's website. So my guess is it was released by FOIA, and that's why because when they do a FOIA request, they redact information. They also crossed out where it says that it's for federal police use only. So I will give that to him. So my guess is when they read it, they didn't notice that, because he probably printed it in black and white. They didn't notice that these were crossed out. So I will say that the document, again, has parts redacted for public consumption, but it still doesn't change the fact that it says clearly, even on the second page, that you're not authorized to do so in the building if they don't want you to. So he's still wrong on everything else. Yeah, exactly. He says what he wants it to say. Yeah. Gia, for 1999, thank you very much. Great stream tones. Keep up the good work. Rest in peace, Officer Rocha. Yes. Yeah, that was tragic to hear about Officer Rocha. That just, like I said, this stuff is happening all the time. Of course, Chili would probably be, dancing with glee on something like that. I mean, I haven't watched that video yet of him vandalizing that cop's memorial. I just feel like the moment I do, I'm just gonna be so enraged. It's like just hearing that he did it pissed me off. So I have not watched that video yet, because I know the moment I do, like, I am just gonna explode, on this guy. It's like, it's just, and that's what I've been trying to avoid. I mean, that's why I don't do a lot of Auditing America videos. It's like he just makes me want to reach through the monitor and punch him in the face. It's like, but yeah, it's unfortunate. Yeah, Ginger LeBron. Yeah, Officer Rocha apparently was either yesterday or the day before, he was killed in the line of duty. But he appeared. He appeared in one of Glenn's videos, so like it's something else when it's someone you've seen. Like even if you don't live in that place. Yeah, apparently he did. He tore down the blue line flag because he thinks it's a terrorist flag, and Blue Bacon's already made it clear it's not that at all, and it doesn't violate the flag code. But the stuff that Chili DeCastro says is just so horrible, just so offensive. I mean, he says you don't deserve a memorial forever. It's like, please, there are memorials that have been around for over a century. Like there's Civil War memorials that are still standing. It's like, you're going to argue with one that's only less than a decade old. It's like there's no time limit on a memorial. So it's random crap like that he says that just makes me angry.
So if it's on the internet, it could be all right.
On the Homeland Security website? You're right, it could be.
Well, that was wrong.
It could be.
But how do we know that yours isn't wrong? Ours is.
But you don't have anything. You got flapping lips. I got paper. All you've got is someone told you something.
Yeah, that's someone who told them something is a judge. You freaking idiot. So this is as mad as I'm willing to get. Yeah, exactly. Like there are memorials in Europe that are well over 1,000 years old and even older in Rome. So for this guy saying you don't deserve a memorial forever, it's like horseshit. Seriously. Desert Sentinel, this is at the federal courthouse in Missouri. I can't remember which one specifically.
Am I being detained?
Am I being detained? Yeah.
If I'm free to leave, I'm free to stay.
Classic.
No.
Then I can say to make you stay. So
Well, you
right
could.
now, right now, you're free to leave. If
Yes,
you want
sir.
to leave on your own will, you're free to leave.
Okay.
But the minute that I detain you,
Yes,
then
sir.
you're not allowed to leave.
I got that. You can illegally detain me if you want to.
Okay, so do you have any form of ID on you right now?
You don't get my ID unless I've committed a crime, sir.
Okay, so once I
That's what you
detain
said last time. That didn't work.
Then I can get your ID, correct?
That would be an illegal search.
No, it's not.
And it would also be an illegal search and seizure.
Well,
Fourth
once
Amendment,
I
sir.
detain you, and once I put you in handcuffs, then I can say, don't record me. You want a Terry
Okay.
stop is? I'm asking you.
I do know what a Terry stop is.
That's why I'm sworn. I don't want to ask you a third time.
Yes,
okay?
sir. I'll respect you for that. You don't want to be recorded, that's fine. I'm not here to ruffle anybody's feathers.
You are rough.
Yeah, too late for that. I will give him credit when someone tells him he doesn't want to be recorded. At least he's doing that. Tread for $4.99. Thank you. People like this are going to create reactionary laws that affects all of us. Taylor Hawk. Exactly. And yes, rip for Taylor Hawkins, man. The drummer for the Foo Fighters passed away last night. So yeah, that hit me hard. Because I like that band. In fact, they played. If you haven't watched it, check out their live performance on Saturday Night Live that they did. Beautiful performance, really great. But yeah, Tread, you're right. These guys are going to start creating reactionary laws, and I said that earlier. They're going to screw it up for the rest of us. Yeah, Internet God. Yeah, most cops already know about this now. Jack wagons are losing elements. Right? You know what? I'm glad. I would love to see that. I think a lot of them do already know, but it needs more. Like, we need more widespread awareness of these guys. Like, I would love to see some kind of either official training video or document, something that just briefs them on the existence of First Amendment auditors and how to deal with them and what laws because they all like to say the same thing. That's what I think they're at a disadvantage. They all quote the same nonsensical stuff. So, with that going on, like yeah, if you could debunk just a handful of arguments they all use collectively, you could do much more. And yeah, if they have, that's good. I want to see more of that. I want to see more awareness. I want them to. I mean, I almost was ready to put together a video of the top 10 things frauditors love to say and the counter arguments for them. Like, oh, I can't be trespassing from a public place. Yes, you can. Here's why. That sort of thing.
Well, you're getting an education.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you this. Right
Yes, sir.
now, I'm giving you the opportunity to leave on your own will.
Yes,
Are
sir.
you willing to leave?
Under threat of arrest?
I'm not saying that.
Oh,
I'm
Under
asking
threat of
if you want to
arrest.
leave the federal property.
I'm asking you, are you asking me under threat of
Really,
arrest?
you're giving me no other option here. So do you want to leave
You
on your
have
own?
an option. If I offer you chocolate, how many choices do you have?
Oh God,
You can say no to the chocolate.
yeah, you could say no, but then you'll get arrested.
Let me talk to your supervisor.
Well, FPS is on their way. So
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to give you this option.
Good.
Where FPS gets
And I
here,
got it.
I want
are you willing to leave on your own?
I am willing to leave only under threat of arrest.
I'm not going to threaten to.
Okay, then
because
I'm
I can
staying.
arrest you. All I can do is detain you.
Okay.
They can arrest you. I can't.
They can't arrest me neither. They don't have arresting powers.
Okay. Well, we all have detaining powers because we
Okay.
work under the federal
Well,
property.
I'm surrounded. You can easily detain one. There's several against. I'm not going to fight you guys. There's more than there is of me.
So, sir, can I ask you again, what is the intent of this today?
To film my courthouse is the intent. For matters of public interest and to see how people respond. If you respect, hold it. If you respect my right to film in here, that's what I'm here to find out.
Yeah, I agree.
And so far, you guys have said, no, I can't film in here. That means you need an education.
No, that means you need a firm kick up the ass. Now, I was going to say, you notice he keeps saying my building. It's like as if he's the only person who owns it. It's like, please. It's like, you should be saying our building or the people's building. It's like, no, the fact that he keeps saying mine just shows that he's selfish. James Blonde 007, thank you, $4.99 super chat. Truth is, as long as YouTube is paying them, they will never stop. They create conflict for the money and nothing else. I agree. I said earlier, if they all got demonetized, more than half of them would disappear. And if we all had to get demonetized too, covering them, I'm okay with that because I could do other things. And if some of diehard ones stick around to do it for free, yeah, I'll make videos to point and laugh at them. Just because we need to do that. We need to remind everyone out there on the internet that these guys are wrong. Because that's the problem. If there isn't, I've noticed that there's been situations historically and politically, like when you have a small group of people talking the loudest, people assume they represent the general populace, like when they don't. I mean, people forget that the turbulent time Prohibition was around, that was a small fringe group pushing for it. But because everyone else was busy living their lives and not voicing an opposition, the government just thought, oh, it's what the people wanted. Like, no, it's not. So if these few guys are saying loudly that I could do this, I could do that when they can't, that's going to become the general perception. So there always has to be a voice equally louder, if not louder, saying otherwise, proving them wrong. I mean, I think the only reason that doesn't have to be done with flat earthers is because, well, let's be honest, you're not going to get the general consensus that the earth is flat. That's just too dumb. Elsewhere, I heard the news about it last night on the radio, so I think it was yesterday. Yeah, Taylor Hawkins of the Foo Fighters, the drummer, passed away. That was sad. I think the one that hit me the hardest was when Chester Bennington passed away. I was a huge Linkin Park fan growing up, so it was sad to see him go. And it was sad back before when Chris Cornell passed away. That was sad. So it's like it's hard. It sucks. Like when in later life when you're all your favorite musicians and members of your favorite bands are dropping like this. It's heartbreaking. Yeah, Bubba, you're right. Like even Long Island Now that's saying "We the People." It's it's just he says that, but it's not that many people. Yeah, Doorstar, there's no citations of what specific laws are violated. That's the thing. It's like there needs to be the line's got to be drawn. It's got to be a clear, is it legal or is it not? And if it's not, just have it in writing. Just have it there, and so as a point of reference, so law enforcement is backed by this. So when they say, "Yeah, you're under arrest for this," like, well, show me the law. Here it is.
It's not that we need notification, sir. We're acting off of what the court has told us to issue. Okay? So it's not that we need notification. We're acting off of court documents.
I tried to give you the authors. There's a CFR on there. You know what that is? Okay. It says that I'm allowed to do it. I'm expressly allowed to do what I'm doing.
You understand our point, though? If we're acting
Yes, sir. I do. You don't like it. I get that. But I'm trying to keep my camera off of people because I know people really don't want to be filmed. It makes them very uncomfortable.
Really, you think?
Even though today you'll walk past 300 cameras, right? Okay. But when a person is filming, that makes people upset. I'm not trying to make anybody upset.
Again, we're acting off a court order from the building, okay? The judges have said that there's nothing allowed to do.
The judge cannot override the Missouri Constitution or the federal law. The judge cannot do that.
Your document in your hand says he can. By the way, he says, "Oh yeah, you're going to pass by 300 cameras." Yeah, security cameras don't get uploaded to YouTube. Just so stupid.
Although they would like to.
The FPS is going to go over this document.
Sure. Well, they probably are already aware of it.
Okay, well, maybe they need to clarify that.
Okay.
Oh, for God's sake. These judges hallucinate. First of all, I don't think he could spell hallucinate. Hallucinate that they control the courthouse and they don't. Sheriff arrested me at the civil courthouse because judge had illegal order. Yeah. Citation? How is the judge illegal? A judge can issue court orders, to for what to do in his courthouse. It's like the piece of paper in your hand says they can.
Probably aware of it.
I don't know why things are blacked out on that. We don't have the full document.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean, maybe you could look it up. You got a computer in your pocket like everyone else?
It's FPS's form, so they're going to be here in a minute. They can probably tell us what that portion of the document says.
Okay. I will leave under threat of arrest.
Then do.
For one, I'm not going to threaten you at all.
Okay, okay, fine.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Judge controls the courthouse.
Video me again.
I'm not going to video you. I can, but I won't. I can by law.
Yeah, Ginger Boy, trying to get that done here in Montana so that people are aware of these idiots because we do have them here.
Cameras
believe
in
it or
here,
not.
we're all being
It's
recorded.
Yeah.
Cameras all around this building.
Yeah, those cameras aren't streaming onto YouTube,
bunch.
you idiot.
I should look that up because I know a lot about this building. $200 million it cost to build this building. $30,000 to clean the windows on this building.
Okay, fun fact. He just said that it costs $200 million to build this building. So the district this courthouse is in a 2000 census report said that the population was 2.8 million people. Now that's just that one district. I don't know if it took tax dollars from the entire state, but even if you just said 2.8 million people, at $200 million, that means that each one of those 2.8 million people own 0.14%. It's like, oh no, sorry, let me it was 0.014. That's what it was. 0.014%. So it's like barely anything. It's like you what about the rest of them? What about the other 99 point something percent of the population? Where don't they get a say? So it's like, yeah, by the way, the federal courthouse, yeah. So it's probably paid by a lot more than just 2.8 million people. So his individual contribution, assuming he even pays his taxes, is minuscule. And yet he's trying to claim that he owns it himself. It's like, no, you don't. Yeah, you're right. Common sense is a dirty word. Yeah, common sense escapes a lot of these guys. I would love to see that master plan. Like if the judge just peeks out the window and just says, "Detain the guy now for disturbing the peace of the courthouse." Yeah, I've seen plenty of videos where the judge just comes out and just says, just get him out of here, and they'll do it. They should. Let's skip ahead a little bit. Where are we at? An hour and 40 minutes. I was going to go 2 hours. See, once again, he silences it. He's cutting out the audio. What's he hiding? What's being said to him? Or what's he saying?
I'm just exercising my right to film in public areas.
See, that's probably his response. They probably said something to him.
That's why it's not arrestable. And I came here to show you guys this too. Because I came here before and I asked several officers if I could film in here, and they said no. I said, well, I certainly can.
Yeah, Jerry, I want to see a more formal training program.
You asked me not to. And I'm not pointing it at any of you other guys neither. I did earlier, but you didn't ask me to stop.
Yeah, Paul, that's right. I love that.
I asked you to delete it because you got me on camera too.
You can ask me to delete it. I will not delete it.
I guess it doesn't matter. Then you can record it.
Okay.
Yeah, Robert. Sorry if I butcher this. McCavity for $4.99. If you misread this piece of paper, you'll see I can do whatever I like to. Exactly. This guy just cherry picks. What suits his narrative. It's so stupid.
Did you guys dial 911 so they'd come running?
I would. Last time you were arrested, you had a gun in your pocket.
You guys could have been able to show me the judge's order, at least.
Welcome,
Should be
Brendel.
on the paper if there's a judge's order. 25 minutes.
Yeah, you're right, Ellis. Like,
Well, guys, it looks like they haven't respected my rights so far. We'll see what happens when the Homeland Security officers get here.
he still thinks they're coming. They don't administrate the building.
No one has stopped me. You're right. That's a good point. Good point. Very good point, sir. Very reasonable, very logical. Thank you. That's a good point.
Oh, he will. This ends with a walk of shame. I'm just letting you know now. He doesn't get arrested, but the fact is he kept saying, well, I'm going to leave after you do. Nope. Famous last words.
To you? Boy, it is to me.
Exactly, Ginger. It's like who they claim they're doing it for us. It's like, I'm sorry, as a person, you know, a citizen of this country, I don't appreciate what they're doing. I didn't ask them to do it.
I don't have any quarrel with you guys running me out of here, but you need to be able to legitimize what you're talking about.
They gave you a court order.
Legitimize it. How can you run me out of here? That's not legitimate.
That's your opinion. That's the other too. It's like they gave you a court order. Only in your opinion do you say it's not valid. But the other 99.9% of the human race would disagree with you.
If you have a law, you should show it to me. And if I'm breaking a law, I'll be out of here in a shot. No one can enforce a law that doesn't exist.
Yeah, you can't enforce a right
And
if it doesn't
if
exist.
a police officer tries to, he's nothing but a common person. And he's actually less than me because he's my public servant.
Oh, piss off. It's like, yeah, that's two things right there. He says like, oh, a cop is nothing more than a common person. These guys love to detach people of authority from their authority. Like, I mean, how many frauders have we said just tell people like, oh, you're nothing. You're just a guy in a costume or something. It's like no, like to be a police officer, you are trained and you are sworn in and pretty much certified by the state. That's what the badge is for. It means that you are empowered to enforce the law. Okay, it's not like going to get a job at Burger King or something where just, you know, oh, you fill out an application, they hire you, and that's it. No, it's an actual, like, it's a job you are sworn in to do. Like you are given that power, and the taxpayers pay you to do it so they don't have to. You know, and it's like they say, oh, but you forfeit your rights when you do that. It's like, you know, bullshit. It's like, you know, they have obligations to their job. They have duties, sure, but they still have rights of a human being. I mean, there is no job that strips you of your rights as a human being. I mean, the last time that we had jobs like that, we fought a civil war to get rid of. Okay, it's like public servant does not mean slave. So for him to say, oh, a public servant is beneath me, it's like, you know, this should have been, too bad he wasn't in a courthouse from a couple hundred years ago. Because those were just like, you know what? Screw this guy. Take him out front, get the rope. That's it. That's how swift justice was back then. It wasn't always perfect, but it was quick. And that's the thing. We've come a long way. That's what's interesting. Like, the justice system has actually become more tolerant. It's become more, you know, like it's got more avenues for the guilty to challenge, the accused to challenge the charges. So if anything, we haven't become more tyrannical. We've become more liberal. Like there's more rights for the accused today than there were a couple hundred years ago. And yet they want to claim that, you know, that it's the opposite.
Unless I've broken a law. Yeah. Unless I've broken a law, then
Exactly.
I have to do what he says. But
Thought you're walking on
otherwise,
eggshells today.
I don't have to do anything that he says. "27 minutes. Are they going to show? They may not even show. They may just say, no. Then I might have to come back another day.
Well, he never made another video after this.
What they should have said is, he has every right to be there. That's what they should have told you. Because you're an officer.
Yeah, that's what you say, so.
Maybe they wouldn't say that to the public. The public likes to see the police show up. I get that.
Yeah, Kim, I agree. It's like if they want to call themselves journalists, then they should be forced to adhere to the standards and ethical rules that come with being a journalist. And, you know, I got to pause for a second. That is actually something I found out. Like there is I think it's called the Society for Professional Journalists. They have an ethics code. Now, granted, these people will just say, "Oh, that's not law." Well, it doesn't matter. It is an ethics code. If you want to be a journalist, if you want that title, and you want to represent your fellow journalists, you have to adhere to that code. Otherwise, you're going to give journalists a bad name. So if these guys want to call themselves a journalist, it's like, no, that comes with a responsibility. And you're going to tarnish the news. I mean, that's why I was with the whole thing in Utica that pissed me off. It's like when they covered what frickin' media and those guys did. And they seem to have a little bit of bias there. It's like I'm, you know, like, guys, like these people claim to be you. And you're proving their point that you guys are not legit or straight. Nina Buya, I'm butchering names. I'm sorry. Thank you for the $10. When they say, "Show me the law," the police should tell them, "I am the law you're looking at." Yeah, I wish they would. But, you know, like the problem is when cops get to say what we want them to say, they get in trouble for it. I mean, Sergeant Morabito is still on paid leave. Thank goodness. There has been no official statement that he's been let go. And even I am willing to say, look, he lost his cool. That's something we can't deny. But they would be stupid not to acknowledge the fact that it was provoked. Like him just swatting the phone out of his hand and basically telling him, it's like, you know, here's your free speech right here, and flipping him off. It's like, yeah, it's like, okay, you want to misappropriate your rights and do stupid things with it. Yeah, you don't like it when someone does it to you, do you? Yeah, you're right, Janice. No journalist stands on the street and cusses the police. They'd be fired for doing that. And the funny thing is, journalists are actually held to a higher standard. They are required to report stuff that's factually true. Otherwise, they could be sued. I mean, as a company or as their news station could be sued for this. I mean, freaking Chile is trying to sue a news station, which, by the way, I don't think he will, because the information he has is not accurate. But it's just so dumb that these guys call themselves journalists. Exactly. If they're doing B-roll footage, he would have had it all done by now. When have you seen B-roll footage in a news broadcast last for 30 minutes?
It's called breaking news now.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the only thing this guy's breaking now is wind.
I filmed police departments, courthouses, post offices. I was arrested over here at the civil courthouse for filming in that courthouse.
Yeah, they never published the story. You notice that?
False arrest.
By the way,
they thought that they had the right to arrest me.
Yeah, you were arrested.
Again, I've already repeated myself. Yeah, I am here exercising my right to film my building. Oh, no. Well, I'm hoping that when the federal officers get here,
Exactly,
that they educate you folks. So that's really what I'm waiting on now. I was hoping that someone would already show you guys.
Yep.
And I was hoping that my little piece of paper would show you, but that doesn't convince you. I got it. That makes sense. Sir, that makes perfect sense to me. It does. It does make perfect sense. That's a redaction from Homeland Security.
Right,
I'm not
90s.
sure what they took out of it. But that is the latest one. It came out in 2018.
Yeah, Violet, I would love to see that too. I mean, I feel like it's going to go down the same road as I think it was Anthony Williams, the private attorney general. He's going to show up to court, try to be counsel, and the judge is going to say, "No, you're not a lawyer. You can't do it." And he says, "Well, I don't have to be a lawyer to represent him." It's like, "Yeah, you do." And I want to see him get held in contempt and cuffed. I'm waiting for a video to see Chili get cuffed, just because I want to see him either shut down and say nothing and say, "Wow, for being tortured, he didn't make a sound," or go full breaking the flaw and scream like a little girl. Like, I want to see it. If I get that footage, I will release a video of just it looping over and over and over for an hour. Like, just, like, you don't have to watch the whole thing, but just that, just because it would just be so satisfying to hear.
It's actually instructions for every police, for all of them.
Yeah, it says let them film the outside, but you can still control what happens inside. Yeah, and unfortunately, there isn't a line, and I feel like it's got to be drawn somewhere. But the moment you draw a line, it becomes a slippery
Kind of
slope.
getting tired of waiting on them. "31 minutes I've been here."
Yeah, we know sucks. Skip ahead.
I don't.
Your choice. You done your filming?
Yeah, I've done it, and I didn't get arrested. And it sounds like maybe he's getting instructions. You have been totally reasonable. You've been absolutely wonderful and professional.
I'd say a little too reasonable, but yeah, they haven't done anything that any judge would consider unreasonable.
And I appreciate that. I really do.
Yeah, the video was
Especially
pretty
after
long.
getting arrested
I
3
did stop in a
times.
lot of places to rant. I got to work on that, but
One
yeah,
time,
it is going to end
they
with him
sent-
just doing a walk of shame.
One time they
But then
sent
again-
5 federal agents to my house with machine guns
Oh, wait,
and a
what?
10-foot crowbar to tear down my door. Why? Because I was filming.
Are you under federal probation here?
I don't have to answer that.
Oh, he probably is. Oh, James Champlin, thank you for the $5. If I sent this guy out for B-roll footage, I'd refuse to pay him and blackball his crummy butt. Yeah, I mean, like, for claiming to be journalists, they are not very good at it. I was going to mention earlier. Shout out to Cynical Brit, or not Cynical, Schizophrenic Brit. His blog, like, he mentioned when I did the video on the whole incident Utica, I said I did what no frauditor has ever done: cut together the B-roll footage and actually produce a story. Like, I am better at pretending to be a journalist than they are. It's like I wasn't even trying. That's what's so funny.
Been dismissed. My case has been dismissed. I'll answer that. My case has been dismissed. No, my case has been dismissed.
Doesn't sound like it.
Oh, they're on their way.
Let's skip ahead here just to.
Anyway, I mean, if I want to do something sneaky, I get some, spy cams or something.
That actually raises a good question. Why don't cop watchers use that? Why don't they? Wouldn't it be better if the cops don't see that you're filming, because then you can actually catch them candidly? But no, like, they insist on making themselves known and interfering. Like, that's how you know, like, those channels don't do it properly.
Sorry?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
They have a
told me
legitimate
it was
court
open
order,
till
but he
6.
says it's
I
not.
was
Just because
waiting.
he
They
says
called
it's
the
not.
federal police on me. I was waiting for them. I didn't want to run from them.
They wouldn't
I
care if
didn't
you
want
left.
them to have to chase me.
Yeah, exactly. They
I'm gonna
love their
step outside
potato
and wait for
cans.
them. I'm not going to go anywhere. You can hold on to the paper.
Were you filming in here?
Ask these guys. Sir, you're mistaken. There's the authorization. Federal CFR right there in his hand.
This is an executive building.
This is a federal building. That's correct. I have every right to film here or I wouldn't be here. There's the authorization.
It doesn't apply to me.
If he's right, then why is he leaving?
I said what I need to say.
Yeah, walk of shame. Yeah, I'm surprised too. I mean, it's a revolving door. That could be too complicated for him.
They tried really hard.
It is a nice building, though.
They tried really hard.
Then they tried really hard, and you still left under your own power. You still walked away.
Thomas Eagleton, United States Courthouse.
Ah, that's the one. Yeah, the Thomas Eagleton Federal Courthouse.
Identification.
Yes, sir.
You're supposed to do it, right?
In Kansas City, Missouri, yes. Otherwise, nowhere else.
All right.
I'm not going to tell you my name.
All right.
Good Citizen's my name.
Oh, please. Hey, there is Homeland Security. Maybe they could tell him this document's full of crap.
Sir, am I being detained? I'll see you.
Okay, wait a minute. So he immediately says, "Why didn't detained?" No. Oh, I see it. He just runs away like. I mean, it's like it says, "Oh, of course he didn't know the law." Hang on, let me go back and read that.
I'll see you.
Of course he didn't know the law. It's like, nor could he read. It's like, says you cut out part of that conversation. So I'm tired of dealing with this. It's like they earned an F today in a revisit of. Which, by the way, he hasn't done another video since this. Yeah, right. No, yeah, run away. He took off. He let. It's like he's running away. It's almost like someone running away, going, "I let you win." It's like, no, like if you're so convinced that you're right, why'd you run away? Guy is such an idiot. So that's the end of that video. I was going to make this into my Monday one, but I figured I'd rather do this as a live stream just so we can together just see how much of an idiot this guy is. He has other videos, including one where he's auditing a polling center, and his excuse for why the rules don't apply to him is because he's not a voter. Yeah, I didn't say that wrong. That is exactly what he says, because he's not a voter. Yeah, the level of delusion is so dumb, is so insane. And this was earlier this month, so who knows where this guy is now, if he's coming back. Yeah, right. Yeah, thank God it's over. Hey, now you know what I go through when I have to make my videos. I have to watch these things in their entirety multiple times, nonstop. So I think before we close this out, I'm gonna do a palate cleanser, and so I'm gonna actually I'll leave it to you guys to ask. Instant regrets or funny pets? Oh, Mr. Shadow, yeah, but you know what? Actually, I got instant regrets already up. I'm going to do that one. Unless, well, actually, how long? Actually, it's been going 2 hours. I'm going to save that palate cleanser for next time. Yeah, just to let you know, like, who is this guy? His channel was called. Let me actually scroll down. Breaking News Now. I'll actually go to his channel. He has only 506 subscribers, and I don't know. He started doing, like, he did one where he was arrested for filming in civil court. That's something I got to look back in the day. But he's got all these other random videos here. There was his 2 months ago was his when he posted the video about him in the post office, even though it said it was back in 2020. So I don't know why he took so long. My guess is maybe he did 2 years in prison. Who knows? But yeah, that was the one he just did there. Yeah, breaking not news now. Yeah, I wish. That is definitely his title. You know what? I'll save the palate cleanser for next time. I've been going for 2 hours. I think that's plenty. But yeah, that was the guy, and yeah, he was an absolute idiot. It's just so stupid. but yeah, thanks for everybody for coming out. I really appreciate it, and thank you again, everyone who did super chats. I never expect it. Unlike some people, I'm not all Luna. No, I'm not like that at all. But for everyone who did, I very much appreciate it. It helps me know you guys like what I do, and I want to keep doing it. As long as there's stupid in the world, my work will never be done. So thanks everybody again. Everyone enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll see you all next time. Take care.